Hello everyone. So I was I made something where you can move objects around the screen by just dragging on them with your mouse. And I figured I might as well make a tutorial on this because it's pretty easy and there's nothing really on YouTube telling you how to do this. It's mostly just like drag and dropping like files, and this isn't really drag and drop. This is kind of just drag, not drop. I mean, you do drop it somewhere on the screen once you let go, but anyways, yeah, I just wanted to make a quick tutorial on how to do this for any people who are wondering, so yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so I have Visual Studio Code set up on the left and Chrome set up on the right, and we're just gonna view our document on the right. So, let's create a new folder called, we'll just name it drag. You can name yours obviously whatever you want. Let's open that up in Visual Studio Code. Let's make a new file. We'll save it as index.html. Save this one as styles.css and save this one as main.js. Exclamation point tab to set that up. Let's connect our CSS. You can just type link, tab, and then type in the name of your CSS script. Then we're going to go script, brackets, source equals main.js tab, and that is going to give us our script with the source attribute of whatever you named your JavaScript file. We're doing that at the end here. So everything in HTML is kind of loaded up before the JavaScript file. You should probably just get into a habit of doing that. Because if you have your script set up before what's in the body, then if you're trying to access something that's in the body at the beginning of your script, you're not going to be able to get anything because it hasn't read what's in the body yet. Since you're declaring your script before whatever's in the body. So yeah, you should probably get into a habit of putting your script at the end like that. Anyways, so let's create a div with the ID of, we'll just say node, say node 0, because we're going to be creating multiple nodes at the end, just to show you guys that this works with multiple as well. Okay, enter CSS, let's just reset the margin and padding of everything. We're also going to put this in a class of node. I'm just calling these things nodes because it seems like a good name. So let's select that, and we're going to say position, absolute. Also, I need to view this with live server. Okay, so now we have a live preview. This on our right. So position absolute, you can set your width and height to whatever. I'm going to set my width to 200 pixels and my height to 50 pixels, so you have a nice little rectangle. Background, I'm just going to give it a nice gray with RGB of 60 of everything. Now I have a little rectangle appearing there. Let's give it a border, 4 pixels, solid Dodger blue, because I like the color Dodger blue. And give it a radius of like 10 pixels. And now we have a nice little rectangle here. So, back in our thing, we're gonna say on mouse down. So when we click on this thing and when we're holding it down, we're gonna call a function that we're gonna make later called node grab. And since this thing has the index of 0, node 0, which also we're going to set up later, we're going to say node grab 0, and on mouse up equals node drop 0. Alright, that's it for HTML and CSS, I believe. Yeah, so let's go into our JavaScript, and first we're going to set up a constant called mouse down. Set it equal to an object, and we'll say node 0 is equal to false. So comma here, not semicolon. So what this is going to do is basically we're just going to make a constant named mouse down, keeping track if we have our mouse down on any of these nodes. Also, I want to add cursor pointer, just so we can have a pointer when we're going over that. Then we're also going to add constant offset, and the reason we want to have this is so our nodes are actually placed in the center of our pointer when we're dragging it around, and not like, basically we want the origin to be in the middle, not on like the top left. So we need an offset, and we are going to set this to actually an array of 2 values, which will be like x and y. So we're going to get our node 0 elements, and we're going to use the offset width, which is going to return a number, not a string, a number of the width in pixels, including borders. I don't think it includes padding, but I think it includes borders. And we're just going to divide that by 2 to get half of the total width. Duplicate this line down, which is Shift Alt down arrow. Very helpful if you didn't know that. We'll change this to offset height. And yeah, now we have that set up. So those are 2 like offset values to subtract, so it's in the middle. Hopefully you can understand that. Now we also need to keep track of where our mouse is on the screen. So let's just set up 2 variables, mouse X and mouse Y. And in order to set those variables, this is a very easy way of getting the mouse location. You just say document dot on mouse move. Actually, I don't even think we need the document. You just say on mouse move is equal to function with parameter e. If you have no idea what I just did, this is just another way of writing this. I can't type this. I just like writing arrows because it's shorter. So yeah, this is basically just saying that. Yeah, so odd mouse move equals a function with parameter e, and we're just gonna say mouse x equals e dot x, and mouse y equals e dot y. Honestly, I have no idea why this works, but it does. And I'll show you guys. Just set an interval using that arrow function thing again, and we're just gonna console.log mouse x mouse y, and I believe they're gonna start as undefined. Huh? Oh, it's at the second line. Oh, I have an equal sign here instead of a colon. There we go. Now it's logging our mouse coordinates in pixels. Hopefully I remember to put a note at the beginning of the video to change that to a colon. Alright, so let's delete this. So yeah, now you can see that those mouse coordinates are actually working. Alright, so next we're going to set up these node grab and node drop functions. Did not mean to close that. Alright, so function node grab, get the parameter target, which will be our 0 here, so target will just be like the index of your node. In case you have multiple nodes. If you don't have multiple nodes, you can take out all these zeros and just name it node for your ID. But we are going to say mouse down dot. Actually, we're gonna, since we're using this parameter, we're just gonna create a switch with our target. And case 0 is going to make mouse down dot node 0 equal to true. Break, not nreal, break. And then we're going to just duplicate this down. And change this to false. And that's it on that. Oh, also we need to change this to drop. Alright, And then let's just set a repeating thing. And if mouse down dot node 0 is equal to true, then we are going to set node zeros style dot left equal to, this is where the offset comes in, mouse x minus offset dot node 0 of the index 0. And that's just gonna grab this value right here. So we're going into the offset constant right here, grabbing node 0 and then the 0 index of that, which is this first value. And we're just gonna add on px to the end of that to make it pixels. And then we're gonna duplicate that, change this to top, change this to mouse y, and change this to 1, which is instead gonna grab the second value. And that's really all we have to do here. And now it works perfectly. So you can click and drag this thing around. Let's also just hide the overflow so we have no scroll bars here, because scroll bars look weird. So yeah, that also means that you can kind of go out of bounds. But yeah, so if that's all you needed, you can just exit the video now. But I also want to show you that this also works with 2 nodes, and with like variable height and width. So let's just create another one of these, change this stuff all to 1, so we have a second node. Then we're gonna go node 1, give it a top of like 60 pixels, so it's right there. And as we can see, our first one works, but our second one does not. So in order to fix this, we kind of just need to copy everything again. But instead with node 1 instead of 0. So node 1, false. Copy this. Set this to node 1. Set these two to node 1. We need to add a case here. So case 1, mouse down, dot, I should have just copied and pasted this, equals true, brackets, did not mean to do that. Then, yeah, we'll just copy this, change these two to 1, copy and paste this, change this, and this, all to 1. And now, both nodes work as intended. And now, if I were also to change this thing's width to, say, 10 pixels and change its height to 500 pixels, gotta reload. There we go. It works as intended. It's still placed in the center. My crosshair, or my pointer, if I were to change this to 700, this to like 1,000, oops, 1,000, it still places it in the center. So yeah, this code works pretty well. It's pretty simple to understand in my opinion, except for this part. I have no idea how this works, but it does. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, and goodbye.